What's up, everybody? It's your buddy WolfmanPedro.
And your buddy JaketheSnake.
And welcome to the next episode. It's been a little while. Episode 2 of the Backseat Movie Review. And what did we just get out of?
We just got out of Dark Tower.
The Dark
film
Tower.
Based on the Stephen King novels of the same name.
Alright, before we go any further into this, I just want to know, have you read any of the Dark Tower books?
I have not. I tend to stay away from Stephen King's just because he doesn't write real in the format that I'm into.
That's fair.
So I can't say I'm familiar with the story. So I'm going in blind as to what's going on.
As am I. They always looked interesting, but I never picked up and read any of the books. And I know that there's like fucking 20 of them or something. Like, it's a big fucking series.
Though I can say after the movie, I might be interested enough to pick up the books and see what's up.
I'm interested too, and I want to know if we're interested for the same reason, because this was my big takeaway from the movie. Like, I had two big thoughts. Those visuals were amazing. Like, it was a feast for the eyes. And am I missing something here? Like, there are such weird gaps, it felt like, in time that I'm like, what did they cut? What am I missing? I'm missing shit.
There's definitely a good couple of gaps, and that's something you always find with books that get made into movies, is they have to cut stuff out in order to make it a movie. So they don't have time to make it a book. As much as I would love a Harry Potter TV series, they don't have time for that shit.
Well, a TV series, I think they could do more.
A TV series, they could do it, yeah, but they're not going to because they've already made the movies.
Yeah,
maybe 20 years down the line or something.
Like as a reboot, they rebooted as a film series or as a TV series instead of.
And include the shit they had to cut out to make a movie.
Yeah, and that was my big thing watching this, is that it felt good. I liked it, but at the same time, I felt watching it that
like
there
we
was
were
stuff missing. That they talk about all this different kind of stuff, like this war between the Dark One and the gunslingers, and
stuff like that, where it's like they mention shit like this, give a very, very, very brief synopsis, and then continue on like that's not a pivotal point for these characters' development.
Yeah, and this movie felt so fast. Like, and it was a short movie. It was an hour and 35 minutes.
Which is back when, I think, the time frame that movies used to try when we were kids.
Yeah. But this felt fast. Like, this started, there was some cool action moments, and it stopped.
Yeah, this might have been something that would have been better as, like a 3-hour movie, so that they have time to fill in those gaps and stuff.
At least the new common standard of 2.5.
Something like that, yeah. Because
it felt like, at the very beginning, it says, like, based on the novels by Stephen King. And I know, like, I have the...
Fuck you, man.
I have the knowledge, right? God damn.
Jesus.
I have the...
And right back in.
Of course, and didn't use his blinker or nothing. I have the knowledge that there are a ton of these books, the Dark Tower books. But that being said, I don't know exactly how many there are. And this movie felt like it tried to cram in a bunch of stories at once.
Yeah.
I don't know how many exactly, but it went through its paces.
Obviously, there was a couple.
Really, it passed through its paces really, really, really fast.
Yeah. It's basically... Did you ever see Maze Runner?
I did not see Maze Runner. It seemed interesting.
So that was a book turned into a movie that I honestly kind of enjoyed. I'm not usually into the teenage movie turned into film genre, just because I don't like Twilight, I don't like Hunger Games. Fully honest, I don't like either of them.
To be fair, when I saw the Hunger Games, like, it's not that I disliked the first one. I thought was really good, but I watched it and I went, oh, this is Battle Royale. Yeah. If you know what that is.
So basically, for the Maze Runner, it's the same thing. Like, it's over a period of one book given, but they cut out a lot of details that would have made the film a lot more enjoyable. And I feel that this is probably, for the Dark Tower, similar.
Yeah.
Like, they had to cut out a few details to make it movie length. I realize that. But a lot of those are probably details that we might have needed.
And again, like, and that was that's assuming that we're only following the first book in this movie, which just watching it didn't feel like it.
It felt like it probably spanned a couple of books.
It felt like it probably jumped just because of the different beats. Like, all right, we find out that there's these bad things on Earth, and then he has to go and spoiler alerts, I guess. Sorry, these always have spoilers, so spoiler alert for every Backseat car review ever.
Yeah, it's hard to talk about, you know, a review for a movie without including at least some spoiler.
And we just got out of it. We're in the car. Like,
Yeah.
It's not like I wrote down a script or anything.
Yeah, no, this is all ad-lib.
Exactly. So, spoiler alert for every Backseat car review ever. Yeah, so it's like you find out that, oh, this kid isn't crazy, but he has, like, visions of what's going on another Earth. And then you find out that these same creatures are on this Earth. And then you find out that they're gonna try to kidnap him. He's able to run away, and then he gets into this portal thing to jump into the new world where we meet his mentor figure, I guess, like
Kind
the
of mentor,
the kind of fatherly figure,
like bordering on father figure.
the last of the gunslingers, and his whole quest on why he wants to kill the main bad guy, and a little bit of his backstory that felt really fucking fast.
Yeah, very rushed.
And it's just like, it had that really fast pace throughout.
Yeah, like,
You find out the kid has powers out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's very,
Like he's psychic or something.
it's very clearly the format of, you know, nerdish kid finds out he's special. And
I will say though, the thing I love, like one of the first tropes that they broke is like, everyone thinks that this kid is batshit nuts, which, you know what? Fair. He draws these weird pictures. He has like those bags under his eyes. He looks insane. Like, this kid looks like he needs help. Yeah. This kid in his school takes his art book where he's drawing all the pictures that he sees, like all the things he sees in his dreams. And the kid goes, "Give me back my book." Bully kid goes like, "What? Did the meds not kick in yet today?" And he main kid immediately socks him square in the fucking face.
First time
I was like, God damn.
First time I have not seen the bully be the first one to throw the punch, and I honestly kind of enjoyed that.
I kind of enjoyed it too. I don't know if we were supposed to or not, or like, oh wow, this kid really has some deep-seated issues, or
I think
I don't know. It was just,
I don't know. Yeah,
it was a cool kind of change. Like, yeah,
it's not like
you asked for
nervous.
it back. He's being a dick. Take his fucking lights out. That shit was awesome.
That's something I think you and me can kind of agree with, because we've never been we were never the victim in high school. Like, we don't play the victim well.
Yeah. Okay, that's what you mean. I was like, I was bullied all the fucking time. I don't know what you're talking about.
we don't play the victim well.
Yeah,
though, is what my point was.
Your original phrasing was off. This guy's trying to get in.
Oh shit. Go for it.
I guess not. Okay.
I guess not. Okay.
Anyway, back to the movie. But yeah, fucking this. I don't know where. It felt so fast. Like, just overall feeling of the movie.
It was very fast. Overall, I would say this movie was not. It would not be something I would buy. Definitely rent. Watch it maybe once or twice, but it's not a buy movie in my personal opinion.
For me, I don't think I'd put the money down for like a physical copy.
Right.
But if it was like, I'd definitely rent it again and show it off. But it's like, if I wanted to buy it, I'd wait till like it was on sale on Amazon or something I could.
Yeah, something like that. Like maybe $2 or $3, rent it.
Yeah, or like a $10 buy maximum.
Yeah, $10 buy maximum. I would agree with that. I will say the action scenes were awesome. It's definitely one of the best, because the character of Roland, played by
Idris Elba. Idris Elba.
He uses a pair of revolvers. A multi-chamber weapon that you have to load the bullets individually versus a cartridge.
Yeah, which you find out were like forged by what they call
like
our Earth a Keystone Earth. So I guess all these Earths are like, it's not like the multiverse theory, but it's like multiple versions of the same world under one universe.
It's kind of the multiverse theory, but very specific.
Yeah.
Like in the multiverse theory, you basically any possibility that could happen has happened,
or will happen
in an alternate universe.
Yeah.
So these were a lot more specific. They were very there are a finite number of universes where
there are a finite number of worlds under the same universe
where it was
kind of worked in amongst themselves.
Parallel universes.
Yeah, kind of.
Parallel worlds in this case.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So I will say that, usually for the revolver combat, there's only one type of character that can pull that off, and that's usually the cowboy character during the whole high noon,
It's high noon.
shoot off thing. Like a duel, whatever.
Yeah.
So this was a new take on it. It was, I don't know, I found it thoroughly enjoyable. And that's one of the things I liked more about the movie was the action.
In my opinion, the action was the star of this movie. As I agree
Very
with that
much
as well. I have to disagree with one thing real quick on your. It's normally for like cowboys. Roland was a fucking cowboy. Like at the end of the day, the gunslinger was. All right, so this is how I'm gonna get there. Let me go through a little bit of like nerdum film history. We had the samurai films of Japan, which weren't actually samurai films. They were almost always Ronin films. The samurai without a master, or trying to avenge his master. And they were huge in Japan, and they told great stories, like the Seven Samurai. Then that came to the West, and in the West it became the Western, or more specifically, the spaghetti Western, and that was more Italian, the Western, where it was a cowboy, either like an ex-bandit or a former like lawman. It was someone that either used to be on one end of the law, but one way or another ended up being a fighter for the people. Right. And that they were the lone wanderer. They were the person that they didn't want to deal with other people, and they were by themselves, but they always had that something that brought them back to save the day. That was Roland to a T. He was a Western hero from the days of yore, but done for today. Right. But he was fucking rad.
Right, and I would agree with that, but more my point when I made that was, like, usually the cool thing, that the kids pretend as is always the dual shootout thing. Yeah. The draw, thank you. So this was, something different with that type of gun, which I think they made work.
They basically gave Roland superpowers. Like, he was able to just, like, roll his revolver onto his bullets, and they would be, like, almost instantaneous. It was almost video game logic, but it was kind of cool. Almost
video game logic. Something you would see, like, Dante from Devil May Cry pull off or something like that.
It's like Dante levels of gunplay is what Roland did in this.
Yeah.
Like, he wouldn't even look at people. He'd like have one arm over here to the right, one arm over here to the left, and just like basically staring forward, looking at his next target. Like bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, look up the cutscene of Dante and Nero, very first fight of Devil May Cry 4, when Nero loads his gun, same kind of shit.
Yeah, it is pretty ridiculous, but in like the most loving of ways.
Like, they make it work. Like, you realize that there's no fucking way in any possible hell that anybody could pull this off in real life.
It's physically impossible, but it looked cinematically awesome.
Yep.
All right, so since we've already started talking about him, let's talk about Roland for a little bit. Idris Elba, who, my God, is always so good.
He's always
he's a badass when he needs to be. You feel for him. Even the tiny little bit of backstory and emotional shit that he has, which isn't much.
Comes off as a good
he still comes off very believable, and you want this guy on your side, and he's awesome. Idris Elba does a great fucking job. He always does. He's become that dude. Like, all right, we need someone that's not only a badass, but that you can feel for, like that you can feel with. You know what I'm saying?
Someone like the world weary badass.
Yeah, exactly. He's like today's fucking. He's kind of like, this might piss off someone, and I'm sorry if you're a fan, but this is my own opinion. He's like what Denzel tried to be back in the day, but does it better. If you know what I'm
trying to think of a specific scene, but
yeah.
But
he's just so good. I don't know what else to say about it, because his character wasn't exactly. He was very one note, but he did it very well. He elevated the character more than the writing gave him credit for.
Right.
So he was fucking awesome. The two characters that got their writing kind of. Mostly one, but the other one. I'm gonna get to the third one last, obviously.
Yep.
Next guy I want to talk about, Matthew McConaughey, in the middle of his McConaissance, if you will.
Yeah.
Also, awesome in my opinion.
Yeah, he was a very good villain. I will admit.
Again, though, kind of like Roland, and how he's very much like, he's the hero, you know, like you root for this guy 100%. There's nothing about him that you're like, no, that's bad, like you should feel bad about. It's like, nope, this guy's the fucking good guy.
Yep.
He's Batman if you could agree with Batman 100% of the time. Even Batman, sometimes you go, I don't know if that's a good thing there, Bruce. Like, no, fucking Roland.
Pretty much any time the Joker has a new scheme.
Yeah. Batman, like, that's who Roland is. McConaughey, on the other hand, is written so that he has no redeeming qualities about him. This
None
guy
whatsoever.
is villain for villain's sake.
Dead.
He is
some
evil,
lightning in the background.
right? He is evil for evil's sake. But you know what? He does it well.
Yep.
And the thing that I liked about it is that with how this character is written, because both of them are basically fucking cartoons.
Yep.
They are. Think any broody anime hero ever. The scary thing about this lightning, real quick, is that it kind of looks like that shit that we saw in the movie, like the demons trying to come out. Like,
it's kind of it's with the clouds. It's got a little bit of a red glow.
Yeah, it's fucking with me a little bit, but it's kind of cool because I know it's just fucking meteorological bullshit.
Yep.
Anyway, any broody but good-hearted like anime character that you've ever seen, the badass with the heart of gold, that's rolling through and through.
I would agree with this. Yeah.
Like every shonen villain you've ever seen who's just evil for evil's sake, is McConaughey in this without the stupid voice.
Without the stupid voice, without the stupid plan.
Yeah, like his plan is, well,
basically end the world. They don't really state why. He just wants to end the world.
He kind of says it in one line that you kind of have to pick up in the line. Like he's talking to Roland, and he's like, well, old friend, the death always wins, so why fight the inevitable? He's basically the ultimate nihilist.
Pretty much. It's like,
he's just like, the world's gonna end anyway. One day these monsters in the universe outside of our universe are gonna get in and kill us all, so fuck it, why delay it? Just bring the party now.
Okay, yeah, I would agree with that.
Which
I think
is
I missed it,
evil for evil's sake.
Yep.
We see some of those demons in the movie, and they're pretty cool.
Yeah, that was definitely a pretty decent take on demons. Because I don't know if you've seen I, Frankenstein.
With fucking Aaron Eckhart?
The guy who played Harvey Dent.
Two-Face? Yeah, fucking, yes, I did watch that, and that's a garbage movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, like I liked Frankenstein, did not like the gargoyles, did not like the demons. But the demons in this one, like, there's no I'm a demon.
No, they're just fucking
like
monsters.
They're like border.
They're
like,
almost Lovecraftian.
They're
like Lovecraftian demon monsters.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. Like they're just there because they're there. They are outside of our knowledge.
They have no real motive. They want to kill for the sake of killing.
They are just fire and brimstone.
Yeah.
End of story. Which I was like, you know what? Cool. And the fact that we know that's one of my things with monsters. I hate when they can't be killed because they're either stupid or pants-shittingly terrifying to me.
Yep.
And the fact that like Roland's able to kill, it takes a hot minute because they're crazy strong, it looks like, but Roland's able to kill one.
And like basically every single part of this demon is out to kill them.
Yeah.
There's a
he cuts off like its tail or something.
And the fucking tail starts the severed tail starts
like
trying to
regrow and strangle him and shit. Like that was, again, visually this movie was cool. Visually it was cool.
Very cool.
And to get back to McConaughey, because his visuals, his whole thing is that he's a sorcerer named Walter.
Walter.
His name is dumb, but whatever.
Like the warlock named Richard. Side note, remind me at some point I need to introduce you to the Looking for Group comics.
Okay. But, fucking A. Yeah, like he's this fucking sorcerer, and he's just evil for evil's sake.
Which, for a moment, he does pull a bit of an earthbender from Avatar thing.
He just, like, the final fight at the end of the movie between Walter and Roland is so fucking one-sided and so amazingly stupid
Yep.
And you can hear it in my cadence that I'm saying that in the most loving of ways.
Yep.
It's just like this gunslinger versus this guy that has all the powers. Like, that's...
Which are not in the powers themselves, the visuals, it's not very entertaining, I will admit.
Yeah, like you just see McConaughey do like this woo thing with his
Almost
hands.
like a Tai Chi thing.
Almost. And it's just like, oh, he can control, like he can make fire, and he's able to like, he basically has telekinesis, and he can like move all this shit around.
And I will admit there were a couple of times where he caught bullets that were like, okay, that was kind of
like
cool.
But then it's like he tries to like flick them back at Roland at like bullet speed, and Roland, who, as far as we know, doesn't have any powers, which he fucking does.
Oh, definitely.
He's blocking and deflecting bullets with his gun and shit. It's like, it's so anime. It's ridiculous.
And like
But they do it so well.
They do it so well.
You could tell like these guys must have had so much fun making this fucking movie.
Yeah, like the special effects alone, they had a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. But then there was for me one sour point, like a really big sour point, and it's something that really shouldn't have been a sour point. And that was the fucking kid Jake. Oh my god. I know it's an old entire trope to, you're hating on the kid actor because he's a kid. No, this kid would either do one of two things. He would either be honestly really good for like a scene or two, or be fucking terrible and either underperform and sound almost like he was on drugs the whole time,
yeah,
or overact like a motherfucker.
Whiny, blubbery bitch.
He's our protagonist. He's the guy who we follow. He's the one who you find out he has like this power, and they call it the shine. And
which, I mean, for the scene, spoiler alert again, when his mother dies, I did think he did a good job on that.
Yeah, that's like the one time he did a good job.
It felt real. It felt real.
Anytime there was something that I don't know, is hard to you either get it or you don't type of scene, you know? Like, you find out that his mom died, Walter burned his mother alive. You don't see it, but it's very, like, he was at the house, there's, like, ashes on the floor.
It's very obvious what happened.
The only way to make it more obvious is if they literally showed you. Yeah. And that's it. And that would take away from it, I feel. But, like, in that scene, he's all, like, he's crying, and he's a good crier. It's very believable.
It looks like... It looks like a kid who just lost his mother.
Yeah. So he did well in that scene. To be fair, he also had Idris Elba to play off of him, who works amazingly in that scene. Just the whole time, he's like, dude.
Like, yeah, I was watching that, and like, I would trust that guy.
I would trust that guy. And it's like the only other time I super believed him was when he first meets Idris Elba, and Idris Elba thinks that he's like a minion for Walter or something, and he's holding him off a cliff. He's like, dude, don't fucking kill me. I'm not a bad guy, I swear to God, just I have visions, look at my backpack, you know? Yeah. I was like, okay, I believe that as well.
I would believe, yeah.
Other than that, he was either like this, and I don't know what else to do, or he was like this.
You killed my mom!
You killed my mom! Boosh!
Yep.
Like, he couldn't find a happy middle ground is the problem. Yeah. He was one extreme or the other. Yep. Rein him in, put him in the middle, and he would have been great. But no, he is... Man,
for scenes where it worked, it worked. For scenes where it doesn't...
I can even think of another actor looking at this kid's age and the type of role he was given. I can tell you another actor by name who would have knocked this shit out of the park and been awesome. That actor's name is Finn Wolfhard. He is one of the main kids on Stranger Things.
See, I've never seen Stranger Things.
Oh, watch Stranger Things, and the minute you know which one that kid is, you'll be like, yep, I get it. Okay. He's the one. He would have done this movie so much better.
Yeah, I would agree.
But to be fair, he's too busy. Right? To be fair, he's too busy making it right now, so...
Which I will not see. I just got over my fear of clowns from the first time I saw an It movie.
Jake won't be here for that Backseat Movie review.
I will not be here for that.
I'll find someone else to do that one with. But yeah, like that kid put such a sour taste in my mouth because he just wasn't good. And then everyone else, every other side character.
Taylor, that's what his name was.
Yeah. kid get some acting lessons.
Yeah, he
He needs help.
like definitely like I will straight up admit
His
definitely does a
crying
better
scene?
job than I would.
Yeah, his crying scene and like that first scene, it's like, all right, give him like real emotion, and this kid has promise.
Yeah.
But just working with the script, this kid needs help. But he does have promise, but he needs a lot of help. He's not Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, it was
I'll give you
definitely
that. Or whatever that fucking kid's name was.
Idris Elba
Idris Elba
was definitely carrying most of the scenes with the kid in it.
Yeah, like anytime the kid was there, if Idris Elba wasn't, it was kind of hard to swallow.
Yeah, you didn't really care much what happened to the kid.
Or it was just kind of cringeworthy to watch.
Yep.
And then again, every scene that he's with Idris Elba totally takes it away from him and eats that shit up.
Yep.
And then when neither of them were there, if McConaughey wasn't in the scene, this movie fell the fuck apart.
Yep.
No side characters mattered at all.
Which I will say, they went heavy on the bad stepdad trope, the one who just wants to get into the mother's pants.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't care for that, honestly. I have a stepdad, so you know what?
I.
So you know, for us, those kind of scenes, we're over them. I think.
Man, once you've lived them, it's like, I get it. Move on.
Yeah.
Like, or make it matter if you want. Because the thing is, like, yeah, he's the bad stepdad that just wants to bone the mom and get this problem child out of here. But it doesn't matter. Like,
yeah,
he's there. He says like two things about like, let's just get this kid out of our hair, and then he dies.
They kill the character
kill
off
him
on screen
so quick,
and you don't care one way or the other.
Yeah,
you don't care.
You find out earlier that Walter has this power that he just goes, stop breathing, and people stop breathing.
Yep.
It's how he killed Idris Elba's dad in a flashback, and it's that one. It was like, oh shit, like it made you care.
Yeah.
And this scene with the stepdad, he just goes, stop breathing, and the dude falls to the ground. It's like,
yeah,
okay,
you get like
cool.
one like half second of a and then he's off screen. The next time you see him, he's dead.
If that.
Yep.
Like, no one else matters in this movie.
Yeah,
there's
they
one
really
character who they tried to make matter a bit, and it's like, I can't even remember her fucking name, but her role is that she was like a seer. She had powers too,
I don't
but
think
not
they
as
ever
much.
said her name.
They probably didn't. But it's like she kind of like, for the, you know what she basically was, kind of? It's for those who know Dragon Ball Z, you know, like the king of Planet Namek?
Yeah.
How he gives like Gohan his unlocked potential?
Super Kami Guru.
She's basically that. But nowhere near as cool.
No.
And then, does she die? I don't remember. She's there.
Yeah,
and then
she drops off
She
screen.
does die. She does die.
Yeah.
I think.
They allude to it.
Yeah, I think she dies, but again, we don't know.
Yeah.
And the shitty part is that we don't care.
We really don't. Like
No
like
fucking-
I might have had a second of like, oh.
Like, oh,
but that
she was
it.
kind of cool, but that was it. Yeah, no one else matters in this movie.
No.
I think that might be why it's so short, is that they maybe tried to flesh out some side characters, which might have been cool if they were interesting, but who fucking knows? And they just went, no, we just have to focus on these three. But to be fair, they didn't flesh out Jake, Roland, or Walter either. They were all one note as fuck.
Yep.
You know what this reminded me of? No joke. This reminded me of fucking... I'm gonna go back to Dragon Ball Z. Remember when Goku fucking dies and Piccolo has to take care of Gohan before the Saiyans come?
Yep.
It reminded me of that arc, only not as good. You have the kid with his father figure who's reluctant to have him at first, but then gets really close to him, while this impending doom is off in the distance until they finally have to meet. And it's basically because of the kid that they're able to survive. Even
Pretty
though in
much.
this it's like such... They kill him off in such a stupid bullshit way. And by him, I mean Matthew McConaughey's character. He dies in this. He's the big baddie. As far as I know, he's supposed to be the big baddie for the series. And he dies. And he dies so unceremoniously. He goes out kind of like... He
No
goes out
final
like
words
a bitch.
or-
Like,
yeah.
no nothing.
No final words, just drops dead.
Yeah, it's like they have this whole thing that Idris Elba's character, he was a gunslinger, but now he's not because there are no more gunslingers.
Because there's no good in the world.
Because there's no good in the world. Because I'm Batman.
Because I'm Batman.
That's what he does.
Pretty much.
And then he's like teaching the kid the ways of the gunslinger. He even has they have this whole scene that together it was kind of cool, but I knew immediately what they were going to do with it. When he's like, I haven't spoken the gunslinger's creed in years, but now I'm going to teach it to you. And he's like shooting with them, and they're shooting cans. The minute I did that, I was like, this is going to come back because Roland's going to get in trouble, and Jake's going to be the one that has to say it to him. That has to say it to him.
Which, coolest Ricochet shot I've ever seen at the end.
But that's what they do. It's like he's trying, like, he's just set on revenge. Idris Elba's character is just set on revenge this whole fucking movie. And he's finally has, like, Walter in front of him. He's like, hey, you've been looking for me. Let's fucking party, you know? So it's supposed to be this big battle between the two of them, which is kind of like, I'm going to throw shit at you, and then you're going to dodge. I'm going to shoot shit at you, and you're going to block it with your magic, and I'm going to throw shit at you. It felt like a QTE boss fight.
Yep.
Until, like, eventually Roland gets caught. Like, he gets a shard of glass put through his hand, and then he gets, like, his gun shot away from him from, like, a ricocheted bullet thingy.
Yep.
That fucking Walter shot back at him. Then Walter drops all this rubble on him. And it looks like he might be down for the count. But then with his own... Of course
you know it's not, because
with his own telekinesis, fucking the kid Jake, he's like, you gotta get up. Remember the creed. And he's like saying the creed to him, and then like as he's down, he's like, yes, I remember. You were so right, little boy who I just taught this thing to like 10 minutes ago.
Yep.
And then he fucking like, he shoots a bullet kind of towards Walter, and then he shoots that bullet in order to make it like ricochet and go straight into his chest.
Yeah, so that Walter can't catch him.
So that he can't catch someone. He's like, oh, you caught me off guard with that one. Yeah. And then he's just standing there like, what the fuck? And then Roland gets up and he just looks at him, and you see him like with both of his guns, he just goes pow 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 pow. And then Walter, you don't see him fall. I don't remember seeing him like fall and do like the or anything. You just
well,
see
he had
Roland.
A bullet in the head.
Yeah, but it's like you see Roland do shooting, and then you see him shoot and he frees Jake from this contraption, and then they walk over to Walter, who's just like on the floor, just like with the stupid look on his. McConaughey has a stupid look on his face with just a hole, right? And it's fucking. It's not even a good looking hole.
Yeah, it's not bleeding or anything. It's just a little dark spot.
It's just a hole in his head. And they like, okay, and they just keep going.
Yeah,
it's like. It was so unceremonious and so fucking like, no, this was supposed to be like the moment of the movie.
Yeah, and they don't have a, oh, finally it's over. It's more of a, okay, cool, let's go get hot dogs now.
Which is literally
what they do.
They even make a joke. Like, the kid's like, here, I got a hot dog for you. And then he's like, savages. And he takes away, he's like, it's good. What breed is this?
What breed?
It's so fucking dumb. And all the jokes that were in the movie were like that. They were dumb jokes. None of them were witty. None of them were clever.
Like, there was a moment where the mother and the stepdad walk in, and Matthew McConaughey is just in their apartment cooking.
Yeah, he's like, oh, excuse me, I don't have chicken in my world.
Yeah.
Don't mind mind that I made myself at home.
Yeah, and for a moment I'm like, is he gonna cook them dinner? It's like, I almost wanted to see that.
It was so bizarre. Again, when it came to like, whoa,
Jesus.
Yeah, you might want to back up and go down that road I always tell you to.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it comes to, again, fucking Matthew McConaughey's character, the thing that worked with him is that, you know that charming McConaughey southern drawl, all right?
Yep.
He does the same thing, but he somehow makes it menacing. Like, he is legitimately menacing in this. Anytime he pops on screen, it's like, oh, this motherfucker means business. He's the big daddy boss. But yeah, like, nothing happens in this movie.
It really doesn't.
It's all build up with no release. This movie gave me blue balls. That's what this movie did. They built up so much so quickly, and then just stopped.
End it very
like, okay.
I guess we're done now.
Let's
go get hot dogs.
They very much set up for a sequel, though, but it was a very obvious sequel bait, which I always fucking hate.
Yep.
It makes it so that this movie doesn't stand alone, and if a sequel does come out, will never stand alone.
No.
So, again, it was visually cool. Our two main leads do their job, but if you're looking for character development, there fucking is none.
There really isn't. Overall, I would say watch it. I wouldn't recommend buying it unless you see it for cheap.
Yeah, like, alright, if you have, like, some time off, like, daytime, weekday, matinee showing where the ticket's, like, $5-6, and you're like, hey, let's go watch some stupid anime fun.
Yep.
And there is no actual stupid anime fun to watch.
Yep.
This will probably scratch that itch.
This will scratch your. You know,
But
it's
not as
definitely
much
good
as-
for action. If you want a good action flick.
Which, to be fair, the action scenes were really cool.
Yep.
But there were like 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, I would go see it if you've already watched the crap out of any Marvel movie ever.
Or any other, like, I'm a little upset that we saw this over Atomic Blonde or Baby Driver. Because it was like, it looks like a cool, like, Western-style fantasy movie. That sounds fucking rad. It was like, oh, there was like 2 fight scenes. And
Yeah,
they
I
were
think-
really good.
They were really good, but they were 2.
But there were like 2 or 3 tops.
I think I would honestly take back the money and go see Atomic Blonde.
Or fucking Baby Driver. Like,
I don't know what's up with Baby Driver. I haven't seen anything.
tell
for it,
you
so.
later. But yeah, so like, if you have extra money and you really want to see it in theater for the visuals, for like the visual spectacle of it, don't go for like a full price $15 ticket. Go for matinee, or just wait till it comes out
And
for
rent it.
rent. Yeah, like
just rent
not
it.
like don't wait for it to come out on Blu-ray. Like fucking rent
just
it on Amazon.
Just Redbox that shit or something.
I would say like don't wait for it to come out on Netflix and just watch it for free, because it is good enough that if you really want to see it,
I would put a couple of bucks towards it.
if you really want to see it, put like $3 towards it on Amazon and rent it for the night and go,
Yep.
cool.
Yeah,
That's
like,
that's
at
what it
least-
deserves. It,
I would pay them for their work.
I came out of
Not
it going,
much.
cool.
Cool, yeah.
Like that scene with like the fight scene when everything's on fire and there are those like orky demon things, whatever the fuck they were, but Roland kills a bunch of them.
Yep.
That was kind of cool. And when he's trying to save the kid, so he storms the complex, that shit was kind of cool.
The part where he's listening for like the footsteps in the middle
Yeah,
of a
that
burning
was fucking
camp.
okay.
That was
Before we
awesome.
get out of the car, the soundtrack overall, or like the sound design in this movie was fucking rad.
Yeah.
They paid really. I didn't hear any stupid generic shing 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 for the swords and shit.
They earned their paycheck.
Like
so,
sound design earned their paycheck. Visual editors, like the editors and the effects artists, earned their paychecks, and McConaughey and Idris Elba earned their paychecks.
absolutely.
Everyone else was there.
Everyone else was kind of just there.
Everyone
They-
else was
Like almost
there.
like they just took them straight off the street. Like, you want to be in a movie? Here.
Or you know what it felt like? It was like they just got done with what's another big action movie that's coming. Let's say, for example, Atomic Blonde, and there was like I highly doubt this is what it is, but let's say it was like that same team. And they're like, all right, I feel so good about this. All right, well, we're gonna jump you onto this movie right now. But dude, I want to go home and
But
like
I wanna
it's
go
the
home.
weekend. Like I can. It's already Friday night, dude. Can I at least? All right, I have to at least have Sunday, so I'll help you Saturday, but I'm having Sunday off. That's what this movie felt like.
Yeah, or like almost like, honestly, like, oh, we just made this movie. Hey, we still got some budget left. Want to do another one?